Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Celeste and this is From Far Out. Today I have a little altar tour for you. Just kind of want to show you some of my things and what I use in my daily spiritual practice. I did film a video where I redid this whole thing with you, where I was taking all the shit off where it used to look bad. I'll insert a little clip here of what it used to look like. And it just didn't work out. I didn't feel comfortable. It didn't feel right. And so I just kind of did it in my own little meditation moment, and here we are. And I really was feeling called to show you guys what I do, and I hope that it inspires some people to sort of add to their daily spiritual practice or start a daily spiritual practice. And yeah, let's get into my little accoutrements here. Okay, so starting from this little corner shelf right here, I have this, this is a smoky celestial quartz piece. It's got some really cool growth patterns on it, and then on the back it's covered in green mica. It's very cool. I love him. He sort of represents that divine masculine energy for me. He's my biggest and my most favorite dragon head piece that I have. And then I have this little, this is just a little basket thing. I don't know, just a little bowl. My mother-in-law got it for me. And then I have my two rattles in here. So my turtle rattle and then my horn rattle. And then I have some eagle feathers that I use for cleansing and when I'm smudging and things like that. I've collected those over several years working with different elders as gifts and everything. And then moving over to this main portion here, of course, this is my drum. My drumstick is over back there. That's what that is. This is my drum, and I like to have her as sort of a centerpiece, you know, invite that grandmother energy. And then as you'll see on top, I have two designated spaces. So this space right here, this is a little bowl. I've got some ashes in there right now. But this is my offering space. So when I have things to offer to spirit, whether it's intention or words or gifts or whatever it is, I like to use this bowl as a representation of me putting it in their hands. I used to have it on my shelf as just a little trinket bowl. It was holding random tumbled pieces of crap that I got, and I didn't know what else to do with, so it all just lived in there. But I wanted to have a more intentional space, more intentional use with this. So this is my sort of offering space, and this is my receptive space. So this is what I use for anything that I am manifesting. I just today did a little full moon reading for myself, a little what can I release and how do I do that situation. So this is sort of the responses and the message that I received of how to take care of myself better and how to release what's no longer serving my highest good. So I have these two cards. It's the White Swan and the Jade of Take Action. So I really love these two decks in conjunction with each other. I'll show you those in a minute. I have the boxes on the shelf. And then I just have this, let me take this off here for a moment. I have this quartz diamond coin. I don't know. I just sort of use it as a placeholder, maybe an activator or amplifier. And then underneath that, I have this resin piece. It was actually a necklace. I don't know if you can see the hole, but there's a hole somewhere. It was a necklace. It's got the 4 sacred medicines in there. So that's sort of my grounding piece to bring in these manifestations, and then having the quartz on top of it to amplify. As you can see underneath my ancestors' hands, I have some other cards here. Those are the cards that I pulled for what do I need to release. So those are things that I'm just sort of offering in sort of a surrendering manner. And then in the center here, I have a couple of crystals, and this is a fairy stone that reminds me of the 3 moon goddess, so it brings that divine feminine. Then I have it balanced here by this quartz piece. That's my little eagle head, and he is my divine masculine in this moment. Things will always change, and crystals will change in and out. These aren't permanent things, but just sort of representative energies. And then I have these two pieces in the center. So this is my little spirit Fodden quartz. And this is a garden quartz point. So I sort of use these things to represent myself in my physical body with the garden quartz, and then my spiritual body with this Fodden quartz. She kind of looks like a dragon, and she reminds me of flying in between spirit world and physical world. So I like to keep her there. And then on this last side here, I have this smoky quartz skull. She is so gorgeous. I call her grandmother, and I invite her here to sort of watch. When I stand here, she can see what I'm doing, and it just invites my ancestors into my daily spiritual practice as a witness, and this crystal acts as a placeholder for spirit, for message to come through. And then underneath, I have my other skull, Katana, who also represents that divine feminine spiritual energy bringing into my ceremonies. And alongside her is this iridescent ammonite, of course, the generations, and inviting all generations before and after to witness my spiritual practice and my offerings. And over just to the left of Katana, I have my main toolkit. So I'm going to try and go through all of these tools very quickly and sort of tell you a little bit about what I do with them. Okay, so starting over in this corner, I just have a couple of different bundles of medicines. I have some cedars, some sages, some lavenders, some pine needles. I've got some palo santo and some sweetgrass. I also have this little sweetgrass turtle that an elder made for me. She made me the turtle and I did the beading on top of it. I don't know, I just thought it was cute, a little memory that I wanted to keep here. And she also sits next to my little grandmother spider, who's so cute. It's just a little soapstone spider. I don't know if that's focusing up for you, but yeah, these aren't really like tools. I just sort of like them here in this space. All right, and then next up I have some, I believe this is Mayan copal, or it might, I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm pretty sure it's copal. I use it mostly as an essence, as something to burn on these little charcoal discs. Just to like bring some smoke and some fire into whatever ceremony I'm working with. Basically the same purpose that I would use an incense for. So I have like a handful of incense over here. My favorite ones are these native astrology incense. I think that's so cheesy and lame, and I'm not even sure that this is an indigenous owned company. It might be. But I bought these at a little shop in Ganawage called Wolf's Den, and I've never really seen them anywhere else, like this brand, so I don't know. But the place that I bought them from was indigenous. I don't know if this brand is indigenous, but I have like a whole handful, and every time I go back to town I get like every scent. And they're beautiful. They have like a little animal and then the name of the scent. It's so cool. I love these. And then finishing up what's on here, I have this little bag. That's so cool, isn't it? I have this little this bag of black tourmaline singing needles. I don't know if y'all saw these in my crystal collection or when I hauled them on the channel, but they're just like these little pieces of black tourmaline, specifically singing black tourmaline. And I like to use them as a rattle to sort of like clear energy, disrupt energy, and to also incite new energy. So if I've just done a cleansing, or if I've just done any kind of like clearing or releasing, I like to use this to sort of like bring that sound spark back, similarly as I would do with any rattle. And then I have this selenite point. My sister-in-law gifted this to me so kindly. I use it for like directing energy, for cleansing energy, sometimes circling or like drawing in shapes into a grid, just to sort of like incite energy, pull energy, cleanse energy, just to manipulate energy, really because of that pointed point. And then I have this little tiny feather. I would use her for the same purposes that I would use a large feather, to cleanse, to bring in spirit, to use during a smudging or whatever. But I just liked her, she was so small, so I just kind of liked her to sit here. Oh, I think I forgot to talk about this one. This is my quartz twin. It's a natural point, double point. She's very cool. I kind of use her as, you know, those like little tuning forks, but like an energetic tuning fork. So like, she really helps to deepen my meditations a lot, and to sort of not manipulate energy, because it's not quite as pointed, and the energy doesn't feel like it's going outwards. It's more like in a circle, because that there is two of them. If it was one point, of course, like there would be one end, but I like that it's multiple, and it sort of like balances the energy in a space. And speaking of deepening meditation, I also like to use this black Shiva lingam to deepen meditations. If I have a day where I'm feeling like very flighty or very up in my head, sitting with a black Shiva lingam really brings me back down to earth, but in a spiritual way. So sort of like grounding my spiritual body. And this is my little selenite. She has 2 points coming outwards, so I like her to like conduct energy, to pass energy through when I'm making a grid. Very integral part of my grids. I also can sometimes use her up on the top shelf where I'm like offering to spirit or receiving from spirit, to sort of open my airways or like my communication methods. She's a pipe cleaner, really. I just really like her on those days where I need an extra bit of like wind to blow away the nonsense that I'm holding on to. And if I need something really strong to get rid of the nonsense that I'm holding on to, I have this obsidian knife. So the handle is a twin point smoky quartz, and y'all know smoky quartz is my jam. It is my #1 crystal of all time. And then with this obsidian knife, it helps to, like, obviously it's very sharp, like they make real knives out of obsidian, but this is more used as like a spiritual tool, so like cutting off energetic ties, releasing a lot of that like bad chi that I'm holding on to. And then danburite, I have these 2 danburite. I call them twins just because I'm like that, but they're just like 2 separate pieces. They were sold to me together. They were like they were intentionally put together. And I love these guys so much. They hold spirit because they're a clear crystal, so they make space for spirit messages to come through. But it's also kind of like selenite on steroids to me when I need like just sort of a boost. Whatever you would use selenite for, to like clear, to cleanse, to ignite, whatever. Danburite is that times 50 billion. It will like open your crown chakra immediately, and like your whole light body will be completely ignited. So I love working with those two together. And then I have these two coppers. I recently hauled these from my vacation haul along with this fishtail selenite, but I use these two coppers to like sort of block spaces, so they would like create a circle around whatever I place these in for protection, whether it's a grid or whether it's just on both sides of me while I meditate, or in the mornings or while I'm journaling or something. Yeah, those are just like my two protection pieces. And then I have this very, very, very cool selenite wand. This is a fishtail selenite wand. She's got hella rainbows. I don't know if I did a close-up in my last video, but she is so freaking cool. You can see that fishtail like connecting everything. Whoa. Yeah, again, selenite, perfect for spiritual tools in terms of cleansing and pulling energy. And then let's go to the last shelf down there on the bottom. Oh, on this side, it's kind of ugly. I didn't show you, but like right over here, I just keep my little incense burners, the cone and the regular stick one. They're ugly, and if I'm not burning incense, I just leave them. This looks very empty, but this is my last little shelf. On here is where I put grids if I'm working with something. That's why it's on the bottom, so it can sort of like work the energy upwards. In the middle right here is this really cool phantom Lemurian quartz on a stand. It is so cool. I wish I could get a better lighting on that, but the lighting obviously in a corner. Oh, you see a little rainbow? If she's like lit from underneath, rainbows will come up all the way through. So if you hold it like to a window like that, it'll look so beautiful. Maybe I'll try and do that at the end. I just keep my little journal here, and these two crystals, this is a tangerine quartz and a blue calcite. And I just like have been using those for the last few days, so I put them there. I didn't make like a dedicated grid to like for like any communication purposes. I have just been working on them, so maybe you might see a little video of me talking about those later, but they're just temporarily stored there. The Lemurian quartz I would keep here as an activator to sort of do a grid around for, you know, like I said, manifestations or anything. And then just over on this little shelf, I have the two decks that I have cards up there. So this is the Enchanted Animal Oracle cards, and this is the Secret Language of Color cards. Those are my absolute favorite for like clarification. If you have a deck that you don't really understand or you're just starting to work with, getting clarification cards from the Secret Language of Colors, because it is so simple and so basic, is really helpful for my communication with a new deck. And then I just have another incense burner here. So thank you all so much for coming and going through my little altar tour. I hope this has inspired some folks to do some more daily spiritual work, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace and love from far out.